June 2 marks 3 months since my Whipples operation to remove 2 tumours, and this week I saw my surgeon and my oncologist for my 3-month appointment. Thank you so much for spending time watching my videos, and as I've said before, these are really about sharing my journey and hopefully helping you on a journey to self-awareness, one that I probably took a little bit too long to discover. So this week I saw my oncologist and my surgeon as part of a checkup process for the recovery of my Whipples operation. So in case you don't know, I had on March 2 a Whipples operation to remove 2 tumours from my bowel and my pancreas. And since this operation, I was diagnosed with neuroendocrine cancer. I don't need any chemo, luckily, but now it's really about monitoring and ensuring that the tumours don't come back. So I had an appointment 6 weeks after seeing my surgeon and my oncologist last time, and I just wanted to take you through the results, how it went, and then some lessons that I've learned, I guess, over the duration of leaving hospital to now that might be able to help you when you're visiting doctors, or if you do go through something where it is quite daunting and quite scary and you're not really sure how to get through it from managing your doctors. So let me take you through first when I saw my surgeon. So the last time I saw my surgeon, he actually took my drainage tube out, and the last time I saw him was the Monday after my parents had left. They'd left on the Sunday, and I went and saw him on the Monday, and that was literally just as I had graduated from being in hospital in the home. So hospital in the home was helping me with my drainage tube, flushing that out and doing all of that horrific thing. But I saw him, and then he took the drainage tube out, which meant I didn't have to go see hospital in the home. And seeing him was really good to just sort of debrief everything what happened. And he sort of did remind me the severity of my operation, because obviously going back into life and this new normal that I've now created, it was easy to forget everything that had happened and everything that I went through. Even though something can be quite traumatic, as humans, we do tend to forget things or the severity of things when we just start going through life. So it was really good to sit with him and debrief. We talked for 45 minutes, mainly about life and business rather than actually the surgery. But it was really good to, I guess, reflect and then just talk general shit with my surgeon. So it was really nice. I really enjoyed it. I think he got to know me a little bit more. I got to get to know him a little bit more, and I do have to go back and see him in 3 months' time. So essentially what they said was that it was about a 6-month recovery. So the next time I see him would be technically full recovery. So it'll be interesting to see where I'm at after that time. And next week I definitely want to do a video on the 3 months and what's happened, how I've gone with it, and then just sort of reflect on the 3 months, so that when I do the 6th month, it'll be interesting to see how far I have come as well. So the surgeon was really good to chat to. It was really good just to reflect, debrief, and sort of know that I'm in a good space and a good spot. And he did say to me, like, "You're very unique." And I did tell him I was sharing my journey, and he's like, "All of it?" I was like, "Yeah, the whole thing, I'm sharing it all." He's like, "Okay, wow." But he was really amazed at how far I had come, because he'd said he hadn't seen a recovery be handled so well. So that was really nice and really comforting, knowing that I am on the right track. So the oncologist that I saw was recommended by my surgeon, and the last time I saw them was 6 weeks ago. I got in very quickly. It was really amazing, and that's when they explained to me about the neuroendocrine cancer and what it meant from then on. So I had to get what was called a dotate PET scan, a set of bloods, and a wee sample. And the dotate's PET scan was done on the 10th of May. And that is sort of like a 2-hour long process where you go in, they ask you a series of questions, they hook you up and leave you in a room, then come and pump in the radiation, which you then go through like a normal CT scan. If anyone's had a CT scan, it's very similar, but you have to wait for the concentrate to go into your body. You sit around, I've just like read a book, and it was actually nice downtime. I didn't mind it, but it is, yeah, a bit of a long day. It was long because it was the first time I'd been back at the hospital since, and it was a bit emotional, but yeah, so we got the scans done. I did the bloods on the same day, and then I had to take this huge jug home to measure my wee for 24 hours. So I actually have recorded a series on this for TikTok. So let me just share what I had to go through with this wee sample.
Today was the day that I peed in a jug for 24 hours, all part of the monitoring of my neuroendocrine cancer. This is the jug, and here is my process of how I explain how it all works. Okay, so I started the jug today. You wouldn't believe the process of that. Like, you wouldn't believe it if I try to even explain it. It's so ridiculous. The funnel was too big for the jug. You aren't allowed to wee directly into the jug, so you have to wee into something and pour it into the jug. I can't eat all those foods. I can't even begin to explain to you, yeah, as I said, how ridiculous it is. So today I took my wee jug back to the hospital. This is how it all went down. There it is, ready to go, ready on its trip. Just a girl in her wee bucket walking down the stairs. People wouldn't even believe me if I told them that I was carrying a bottle of my wee to the car. The thing that gets me is those people in the park. If only they knew what I was carrying out to my car. Ready to go. I couldn't have it fall. I had to strap it in. And then it was an interesting trip from the car park into the hospital to deliver said care package. There she is. I celebrated with her.
I think this is the definition of the term, the things we do for our health, because that's exactly what I felt like. I was like, oh my God. And just to be clear, I have filmed this, the whole process of what I had to do with, you know, covering my bits, but I just don't know if I'm ready to share it just yet. Maybe one day I will share with you. But I did document the process because I thought it was important. Just for the memories, but also, you know, for future in case I did want to use it. But yeah, that was the definition of the things you do for your health. Literally walking around with a paper bag full of my own wee in Sydney was interesting, to say the least. But yeah, so I did all those scans, and then I was seeing my oncologist to get the results back. My oncologist has been amazing. As I said, when I first went and saw him, he like drew all these pictures and explained exactly what was going on, and then I could use those pictures as a reference. I probably have some footage of it that I can show. I could, you know, yeah, use that and just explain that to my parents, exactly using that bit of paper. So I went back and saw him, and it was more waiting in the waiting room than actually talking to him, which is fine. I don't mind waiting around. I think we can get quite frustrated waiting for doctors, but at the same time, you know, like if they're scheduled to do a 20-minute, 10-minute appointment with a patient that is distressed and they have to go overtime, like I think that's fine. Like I'm more than okay to wait. That's why I always take my laptop or a book or something, so that expecting a long wait time. And when I book out my calendar for my work week and I've got an appointment on that day, I'll always schedule a little bit longer for doctor's appointments than, you know, you need, because you know you're going to be waiting around. So I went and saw him, and he was really happy with my progress. Just asked me a few questions about, you know, my food, my symptoms. And really, to be fair, like, I do get nauseous a lot. But what's happening at the moment for me is my stomach is taking a while to process that it's full. So I might eat a meal and be like, oh, I'm content. Maybe I'll have a dessert or something. And then an hour later, like, I've completely overdone it. And he said, look, it's not too bad considering some people, his stomach is telling them they're full really early and they're not eating enough and they're losing lots of weight. So I'm counting that as a blessing. But he was asking me more about my exercise, what I've gotten back into. And of course, I'm not exercising like I used to. He said aerobic exercise is fine, maybe not running, and yeah, no sort of heavy lifting in gym. So I'm gonna get back into swimming and yoga. So stay tuned for that. I'll let you know how I go. But it was again a reminder of how far I've come, a reflection, and he wants to see me in 3 months as well. He was really happy, but of course just said, you know, it's just monitoring and making sure that it doesn't come back, the tumors. So I get bloods in the next 3 months before I go back and see him. And then the next scan won't be for another 12 months, which is so amazing. I'm so happy. But as he said, it is, of course, early days. We're still just monitoring everything. So I feel really good. It was a really good outcome. There's so many lessons that I've learned just in this process of seeing doctors that I really want to share. But at the end of the day, it's just like, it is early days. I'm still recovering. I still, you know, get really tired. Last night, for example, I was out a little bit later than I normally would be, and I'm like exhausted today. I don't know if you could tell, but yeah, it is this new life, this new normal, which I did a video on that you can watch. But I am feeling really good about my progress, and I think there are a lot of things I have done which I want to share that have helped me. But yeah, that was just a little taste into what it was all about this week, seeing my oncologist and my surgeon. A lot of chitty chatting, a lot of reflection, and just like next step. There is still a lot of uncertainty, as my oncologist said. You know, we are just still monitoring. If you have anything that comes up between now and then, just contact us, come in and see us. And of course, like, I want to be a digital nomad. I want to live a laptop lifestyle. And, you know, if this time next year the international borders are open, it's something that I'm really going to have to think about really hard. What I do I fly back to Sydney to get my tests done? And there is a lot of uncertainty, and I can't plan the future. And I am a bit of a fly in, fly out from Sydney. I will be going back home for a month in July, which I'll talk about soon. I'm coming back to Sydney in August because that's when I will have my appointments. But it is really hard to plan the future. But I'm still trying the best I can. I know I'm a lot better off than it could be, you know. At least I know that I'm healthy enough to be able to travel and things like that. So let me take you through some of the lessons that I've learned. So these lessons can be for you if you're just going to see your GP, if you are unfortunately going through some hardship at the moment with your health, or for the future. So one of the things that I learned quite quickly is don't say I have cancer or I have this. It's like, I have been diagnosed. It allows you to take that emotion away from it, and the cancer then, or the diagnosis then, doesn't become your identity. Don't let it become your identity, because that's when it can be really hard from a mental perspective to come out of that. And that's what I found when I was saying I have cancer. Those words just hit, like, it's so emotional to think like that. And I'm starting to get emotional now thinking about it. So that's what I mean when you say I have kids, like, I have been diagnosed. Just allows it to not become your identity. The second one is record everything, or ask your doctor to write things down for you. I record on my phone so I can go back and listen to it. I can play it to my friends and family if they need to, or they want to know more about what's going on. As I said, like, when you're in an appointment, you can be so paralyzed by what people are saying or what the information you're being taken in, that it can be really hard to remember everything. So I always record now, or ask them to draw. As I said, my oncologist drew little pictures, which is really nice and really helpful. But take your phone in and record it so that you can go back and use it for future reference. Number 3 is have a plan when you go in. Have questions that you want to ask written down, because when you get in there, you get so caught up in what you're hearing, what's going on, that you do forget what you came in there for, or what you want to know, what you want to hear. Have questions, you know, in your notes on your phone, and have a plan when you go in. What outcome do you want to get out of that appointment? For me, for example, when I first wanted to get an ultrasound done, I went in with the plan of, this is what I want, not, oh, I've got these symptoms, what do you think I should do? Like, I went in with a plan. I said to my doctor, I want an ultrasound. I'm not sure what's going on with my gallbladder. Because for background, I had my gallbladder out in 2017, and this is where it all started, the journey of finding out that eventually in 2020 that I had 2 tumors. So I went in with a plan of what I wanted to achieve from that. And of course, have your questions with you. Number 4 is show personality with your doctor. Create a relationship with them. I've always been the type that is very open. I overshare all the time. I talk a lot. But I do like to show my personality because I find it builds connection with that healthcare worker. And we're all human. And we want to have a really nice relationship with our doctors and with the healthcare professionals that are looking after us. So definitely show your personality. I think you get a lot out of it, and so do they. Number 5 and 6 link really well together. So number 5 is ground yourself before you go into your appointment, whether it's doing a meditation or whatever that looks like for you. Just like before you go in, take a few deep breaths and ground yourself and prepare yourself for what's to come. Or, you know, don't always think the worst, of course, but I found like every time before this, I would go into a doctor's appointment, I was just like, so blasé, 100 things on my mind, you know, and then when I went in there, sometimes it was such a shock what information came back to me. So I think just ground yourself before you go in, and then afterwards, treat yourself. Treat yourself to something nice. That's number 6. You know, do you plan a lunch? Take yourself out for lunch after an appointment. Whatever that looks like do something for you, especially if you've received some heavy news or you're just drained from, you know, trying to look after yourself and look after your health. Treat yourself, massage, lunch. Like, I got lunch after my appointment and it was just really nice just to sit at a cafe and eat lunch and just like be really happy with the outcome. But then of course, like if your news isn't amazing, do something that's going to cheer you up. Number 7 is to be proud of yourself. I'm really proud of how far I've come and what I've done to get this far. I've done some other things in the holistic health space, which I definitely want to share with you in the future. I'm still going through this journey, but I'm proud that I've taken it on myself and given myself responsibility, because at the end of the day, you are responsible for your health. The doctor is not. They will give you advice and they'll be there to support you, but it's up to you to help along your healing journey. I've read a really beautiful book on this called Love, Medicine and Miracles about self-healing, which I definitely want to do like a whole YouTube video on the book because it's incredible. Like gosh, I would love to just read it to you guys. It's amazing. It is a really good book. But it is up to you to take responsibility for your health and then be proud of yourself when you do. I'm really proud of everything I've done. I've been documenting, journaling, I've been reading, I've been, you know, testing with food. I've been going to bed a lot earlier than I ever have before. I've been, you know, not burning myself out with work, not pressuring myself. And I'm really proud of that. I think it's not easy. It's not easy to look after your health all the time and always be on the front foot with it. It really isn't. So be proud of the fact that you're drawing attention to it, and because I'm really proud of myself for doing that. Number 8 is do a food journal. So this is what I've been doing, is writing down the things that my body likes, not what I like. I love chocolate, I love this, I love that, but my body doesn't like it. So it's a matter of document down. My body doesn't like dairy anymore. I'm becoming lactose intolerant. And so I've been writing down all the foods. I've been writing down what I eat, how I felt before it, what I'm doing at that moment, and how it made me feel after. And now I've got a list of things that don't make me feel good. I've worked out that I'm more of a salad eater. Like when I eat salads and lighter foods, like more raw foods, I feel better than if I eat really cooked foods, like slow cooked meals, curries, things like that. Just like, no, I feel nauseous like instantly. But I'm learning, you know, there are times I go out for Thai and I really want the Penang curry, but it is about learning and documenting those foods down. And then they're a perfect reminder when you go out what you need. Of course, it's not easy. Some days I don't want to record my food and I can't be bothered. It's just how it is. But if you can try and keep consistent with it, it does really paint a good light. Regardless of whether you have health issues or not, you should really consider it. Number 9 is find practices that fill up your cup. Now this is like a form of self-care. For me, I love journaling. I have always loved to write, of course, but I journal morning and night about my experiences, how I'm feeling. I do, sort of best case scenario journaling or manifestation, visualization journaling, gratitude. I love to write down my thoughts and unpack those thoughts, interject those thoughts, put down the horrible thoughts, the sad thoughts. I've got journal entries that are quite dark from when I went through the really hard times. But, for me, it helps. It's therapeutic, and that's what I love doing. So find a practice that really works for you. It could be meditation, it could be going for a walk, it could be anything. Just find something that works for you. Then number 10 is record the process. Could be for you, could be for someone else, but documenting any journey that you go through really helps. It could be doing a video diary, it could be writing and journaling, as I mentioned. It could be just filming the little snippets. And you could use this later down the track to help someone, or if you're not up to it, you can just use it to reflect. I think all the videos I have really help put things into perspective when I'm feeling stressed. All I have to do is watch that one video of me crying in hospital or whatever that is, and it really does put things into perspective, and it makes a difference and is extremely helpful. Now the last 3 are all about love. So smile at everyone that you see. That's what I've been doing, definitely. Trying to smile to as many people as I can, because 1 in 2 will experience cancer in their life, as according to an Australian statistic, and that's a lot. So you never know what someone's going through when you walk past them in the street. You don't know. And if you smile at them, if they don't smile back, it's fine. But I love smiling at people now, because I just know they could be going through something really shit, and a smile from a stranger can really mean a lot. So smile at people. And then the next one is, don't get savage at your doctor or the receptionist, the secretary, I don't know, the cafe worker at the hospital, or anywhere. As I said, you don't know what they're going through, and if they're being savage to you, you don't have to be savage back, because I just don't think it's going to make you feel any better. And there are times, of course, where you need to stand up for yourself and stick up for yourself, but I've just found in this journey that just being really nice to everyone just makes me feel better. And then if I'm really nice to them, then they start being nice to me. And the last one is love, and love a lot. Love the people that help you, love your family, your friends, just all of the love. I've found since I've been more loving since coming out of hospital, and being more loving has put me in a better headspace. The people around me feel better, and I just, as I said, after reading Love, Medicine and Miracles, it's just taught me to love more. And there was a quote at the end that I had of the video from a tribute to my mum and dad, and it was just about love and giving back with love. And this quote was, if we choose the path of love, we save ourselves and the universe. So let us choose life and love. And I love that so much. It's just so beautiful, and the perfect way to describe what I've learned is just to love and be loving and choose life. Choose to live your life, be healthy and happy. So I'm really happy because my results have come back really well. I'm really lucky. As I said, I know it's only early days, but I'm really confident that with the help of the medical professions and my own power to heal and to look after myself, that the next 3-month appointment will be amazing.